time for something different.
There's been enough thinking.
Don't bring up politics. Don't bring up religion.
Don't be so serious about everything.
This aggression will not stand, man.
Let's just chill, huh?
Let's have some fun.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holmes.
I want fire.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Oh, Todd, you got off the couch today. So we're gonna give you just a little bit of praise. A little bit of praise just for you. Well, you actually got off your couch today. You know we gotta give you praise. Sing the name. Oh, Todd, we praise you.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is rolling on Facebook and YouTube. And I have been looking forward to this for quite a while. A couple of weeks ago, probably at this point, maybe a month or so ago, I was having a conversation on the show about public access television. And when I was growing up, there was a lot of unusual shows that were on. I actually got the opportunity to work on a couple of these with the Miami Valley Cable Council, one with Southside Video. The other was a kind of an odd show, the Eat More Carp Show. It was guys wearing rubber fish heads on camera, taking calls, having conversations, being chased by a farmer. Just weird stuff. But one of the other shows that I remember seeing at the time was a program produced locally, and it featured my guest here, William Pace. And William, I have been aware of you for a very long time, but it wasn't until maybe 20, 30 minutes ago that I finally got to meet you. And all the years that you've been in broadcasting and in television, and that I've worked in radio and television, I'm surprised that we've never met.
Well, it's a perfect time. God's time.
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
all things happen in God's time.
So I started talking about you on the show, and I had one or two people reach out and say, "Hey, I'm friends with William," and I said, "Well, hey, have him contact me." And lots of times people tell me that, and I never hear anything. But lo and behold, like a few days later, I get a call from you, and you're like, "Hey, I understand that you were talking about me. Let's chat."
Well, I'm so glad that the fans called.
Yeah.
And the friends called. Mm-hmm. That's how I heard about it.
Right.
And the phone just kept ringing for several weeks at least.
Yeah.
About being on or being mentioned on this program.
Okay.
And so I'm so glad to have the opportunity to be here today.
So let's go back, and you're here for the hour, by the way, because I find your story very interesting and intriguing, and we'll get into why I think that. But there was an article that came out. I don't know, maybe was it earlier this year? With the February Dayton Daily News.
Yes,
and they were talking about the fact that in your home there are thousands and thousands of videotapes of your shows, you interviewing newsmakers, celebrities, all kinds of folks, just common everyday folks here in the Miami Valley.
Absolutely.
And a lot of your performances, because you are, of course, a singer.
Yes.
And you studied music, right? At
professionally.
Wilberforce.
Yes. I went to Wilberforce University. My whole story in so many ways is interesting. The music part was very obvious.
Okay.
And really, I guess the journalism part, the mass media part was obvious too.
Right.
I just kept taking courses in broadcast journalism.
Okay.
And when it came time to graduate, I had a double major.
Ah, okay.
Majored in music, voice performance, and communications mass media. But now, as I look back on it, I think it was a part of God's plan for me.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a divine plan for me.
So when you got out of school, I mean, what was your first step? Obviously, like any college graduate, you start looking for work. You start looking for a career path to jump on. And what was happening with you in your life at that time here in the Dayton area?
That was in the late 80s. Late eight. I graduated in here,
Sure.
but my singing career started in the late 80s.
Okay.
And so I started singing all across the country with orchestras, concert bands, nightclubs. And everywhere I went, people said, "You're photogenic. You ought to be on TV."
Okay. Yeah.
And I said, well, I double majored in college, music, voice performance, communications, mass media. Well, anyway, very much like the story in the the Wiz of Oz,
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. Whenever I came back to town, I went to the various stations and pitched the idea of a show. And as the wizard told Dorothy,
Yeah.
go get the Wicked Witch broomstick, which meant advertisers.
Oh yeah. You
Okay.
gotta have a sponsor. You gotta have a sponsor.
Well, I
of some
came
sort.
back with all kinds of sponsors. I don't know if you remember the Mad Hatter
Yes.
on Brown Street.
Yeah.
They signed up right off the bat. So many people did. Well, we shan't mention any stations' names.
Right.
But when I came back with the list, they still wouldn't help me.
Really?
And so finally I said, okay, fellas, this is what we're going to do. I will create William Pace Productions and we'll just produce the show.
Right. Yeah. Just do it yourself.
And I'll create I'll create my own production and my own team, cameramen, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And I'll create William Pace Ad Agency, and we'll represent the show, and we'll just give you a check for your airtime.
Now, see, this is why I find it so intriguing and interesting because, a lot of people in entertainment who want to get into the entertainment business, they miss that aspect of it. And I have tried to sort of do that myself, where instead of just hoping for a part or an opportunity to present itself, you have to go and create it yourself. And if you have an idea that you can, muster together, resources and people to help you and put something together, then that is how you do it, because then you have more control. Then you sort of, you are the person who's leading the ship. You're not waiting for somebody else to go tell you what to do.
Well, I've never been a person to wait for someone to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I operate under the belief that what we do today has a big impact on how well our tomorrows turn out.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I'm mindful every day, how much can I get accomplished? How much can I do?
Yeah.
Who can I call? All of this and so forth. What guest would make an interesting show?
Right.
I think I'm working in my sleep sometimes.
I get it. I 100% get it.
And thinking, and so I never set out to be in production. Never set out to be in the ad business. It just turned out to be how I had to come to be.
Sure. William, hang on. We got some commercials to go to.
You bet.
Pay the bills, and then we'll come back, and I want to find out how you, the next step into getting your public access show, because that's what I know you from. So hang tight.
Okay, sure.
What am I listening to now?
What is this? It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holst.
It's education, it's entertainment, it's fun for the entire family, and it is the most American thing in all of America.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
When I started here at WHIO in 2017, this last time, there was no afternoon talk show. like local show. It was all syndicated. And when I, got here, my goal was to do this show that did not exist. I mean, it had existed at one time back in the 90s. You were on the Dan McDowell show. The show that I produced was right before his was Kent Voss. They had an afternoon show, but then it went away, right? And then it all became syndicated programming. So when I got here, I pitched a Sunday show, which, it's kind of an innocuous thing. It was on Sunday evening, 7 to 9, sort of hidden away, couldn't really do any harm, right? And that's what I did. And just over time, and it's taken years, to get to the point where here we are now doing an afternoon show in Dayton, Ohio, the station that I grew up listening to. But I created that opportunity. That opportunity was not existent at the time, I
think life is what you make.
Yeah. Yep.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
If the world gives you lemon, you make the best lemonade.
Well, I know a lot of people that work in my industry, or a lot of people who worked in my industry who got out of it because they didn't feel that the jobs were there. And again, I think in many instances, some of those, not all, but some of those folks they didn't have that ambition to sort of create their own thing.
Well, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not. It's not. And I appreciate, what you said about, working when you sleep, because my wife, I don't know how she deals with it, but she's like, you never turn it off. I can't turn it off. I'm always thinking, how can I use this for the show?
Well, I think there are some people that are just born into this arena. Takes a certain kind of person.
Yeah.
And you have to be pretty strong in who you are.
Right.
Or you could be swayed by what people think or don't think or say or don't do.
Yeah.
You have to be pretty strong. And I've always felt that this was a call on my life.
Yeah, I get that.
There's so many stories I would love. I'm going to save it for the air.
Yeah. But I appreciate that. I really do. Just I look at kind of the way that things have gone in my life and how things have sort of fallen into place. And I know that, I know a lot of it was my hard work and my tenacity, but there's a lot of other things happening, that you can't really explain, and you don't try. You just go about your day. You just do your thing, Some people are just born. As I look back as a kid, standing in front of my father's car at 5, you could just see all this creativity pouring out of this little kid. Yeah. 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 That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm grateful that I've been able to do it in the town that I grew up in, and that I didn't have to. There's a lot right there too. That I didn't have to move, and somewhere jump on that radio caravan that so many people do. And, and my show, I think, is so hyper focused on Dayton. I mean, I talk a lot about stories that aren't from here because Dayton's only so big. It'd be hard to fill 2 hours just talking about what's, at least the kind of stuff that I want to talk about. But I don't know that my show would fly the way that I would want to do it anywhere else. It might, but I have a history here. I can talk about, things that went on downtown Dayton and going to, Reich's and the Christmas shop and all, all those things that I wouldn't have that in other places.
Thoughts are coming through my mind, right? That's why I'm reaching for my briefcase, to write down some notes, and so that I won't forget,
Well, we're coming back here in about 30 seconds or so. So
okay.
I'm just gonna ask you how you getting into the public access and that whole thing.
So much to tell.
Yeah. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, live stream up on Facebook and YouTube. And if you did tune in to the live stream, you would see my in-studio guest, William Pace. I've got you labeled up there, Dayton TV Icon, William.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much the fans mean to me here.
Well, I'm one of your fans. I'm one of your fans.
You know what they say about fans? Your fans will keep you going. They won't forget you.
That's right. And that's why you're here. That's why you're here on the show. So, you last segment you were talking about pitching the idea of your TV show. You'd been outperforming music, and people said, "Hey, you should be on TV." So you ran with that idea. You pitched it to local TV stations. They said they weren't interested. And you landed on public access. And as you know, on public access, there's some interesting shows.
Very much so. But there are a lot of things I want to correct. And one of them is that people think, this show that's been on the air for 38 years, that this station was behind it, or it was a cable access show, or this station supported the show.
Right. Not WHIO, but just some station.
None of the above.
Right.
None of the above.
Yeah.
This show exists because it was a call on my life.
Right.
And when the stations would not help me, I created my own production company.
Sure.
And created my own ad agency as vehicles to represent the show.
Right. Did you end up on DATV? Is that?
I'm glad you asked that question, because what we did, the show was always a commercial show.
Okay.
All from day one had commercials in it.
Right.
And because we had to pay the bills.
Sure.
I had to form a production, camera people, studio time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And so, but how it got to the cable access, we had to take out the commercials, and we shipped the show to all the cable access channels here without the commercials. And they ran with it to have programming.
Right.
And people didn't know when they were flipping through the channels, whether they were watching broadcast TV, access cable TV. They didn't,
I got you.
They just, hey, who is he?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, you popped off the TV. I mean, your hair is very well kept now,
Yes.
Not that it wasn't before, but the one thing I remember, William, your hair, it was on fire. I mean, it was all over, but it was great.
Yeah.
It was very memorable.
What I did, I had to create a look.
Right.
I created a look. The tuxedo was a look.
Yeah.
You see, all of that was a look, and it worked.
Yeah.
And now, people talk about the various hairstyles I've had over the years.
Yeah.
And they talk about the tuxedos over the year. And there's, in the early days, one of my sponsors was King is Formal Wear. and their slogan was "Play clothes for the big boys."
I think I shopped there a few times.
And you know, so that's one of the things I wanted to correct. You know, so it's none of the I own the rights.
Sure.
To the show.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, the right person's going to see it.
Yeah.
What the viewers tell me through
Mhm.
all the fan mail, which has tugged on the strings of my heart, is what they like about the William Pace show. They said this man with a Midwestern charm and a cosmopolitan flair.
Oh.
That has been a reoccurring theme over the years. And that's why the goal is to, sooner or later, when I get into syndication, the goal is to buy acres of land on the outskirts of Dayton,
Right.
build my own studios,
Oh.
and have the show syndicated right out of Dayton, Ohio.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
a
it's like that's how Phil Donahue started.
I'm afraid that, you know, if I would move somewhere else, that I would lose what the viewers, what's unique about the show.
Sure.
Midwestern charm, you know, hello, hello,
Cosmopolitan,
darling, how you
yeah.
doing, bud? You know,
I got you.
you know,
I got you.
cosmopolitan flair, worldly knowledgeable, you know,
Sure.
somebody that can say, hey, yo, what's going down?
Right. I
you
got
know,
you.
You know, I can talk to different genre
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Well, hang on. We got the news here, and then we'll get back and we'll talk more about your career. And there's a song. I think you have like a signature song, don't you?
I do. I have several. I
Okay.
don't know which one you're referencing.
Well, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna
oh,
play it,
okay.
and maybe we can get a little performance. Maybe
Oh,
just
well,
a little bit.
Maybe I'll come back next time and bring the band.
I don't know that we could fit the whole band in here, but
Oh,
let's talk. Let's talk about
You
it.
bet.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holst.
I love this show.
It's fun to listen to.
Locally grown.
Here in Dayton.
Seriously funny.
He's a crackpot with wild ideas.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
I'm classically operating though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's obvious.
I've seen you've got a bunch of videos on YouTube. You've got your own YouTube channel.
Yep.
I've seen them.
Yeah, and so, but does that help you to understand about that whole access thing and how that happened?
100%. Yeah.
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 I had to take the commercials out, which I had to pay.
So where was the show running when you had the commercials in? Where was it running? Was it
broadcast? I mean, commercial wise.
right?
In the early days, we were on WDTN.
Okay.
We were sandwiched in between WWF wrestling and In Concert. The wrestlers would come at late at night, and
right.
and people stayed up too.
Yeah.
Wrestlers would come on and fight it out, and then I'd come on and fight it out. And the thing of it is, people stayed up.
Right. Yeah, that's it's interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, suddenly 1 o'clock at night was a hot.
So if I played a clip, you could put your headphone, not right now, but if I play a clip from YouTube on the show, is that okay with you?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got one queued up that I found the other day. It's got like the intro and everything, which I think is cool.
Is it a song?
It's the intro of a song. Here, I'll play it for you.
Weather, traffic, and news station. It's not good enough to just play music off a computer all day. That's what most radio stations do. At WHIO, it's all about being live and local. Local traffic reporters, local meteorologists, local talk show hosts, and local news reporters. Our folks live here in the Miami Valley. Information that saves lives and supports.
Well, cool. Yeah, I was hoping that we'd be able to play some of your music. And,
Oh, sure.
So what's happening with the? Well, I'll ask you. I'll ask you when we get back on.
Okay. I also want to talk about some of the guests that I got to come on. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know how I was able to pull that off.
Right.
It's not to be on an ego trip, but it's quite extraordinary what I was able to do, and I only could have done it through God.
Right.
And in the early days when I was so concerned about, because I never had the cloud of anything behind me.
Yeah.
And I was concerned about this and this. And there was a very prominent attorney in town at the time. And he said, man, just put the show on and you can fine tune it on the air.
Yeah.
That's what he would tell me. Just put the show.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'd shoot it in the dark or they didn't turn the you name it.
Right. What was the other show you met? You said it was sandwiched between wrestling and which one?
In concert.
In concert.
And then and when I went to the Black Station, that's interesting. And so many things. And but to look at my body of work, it gives me my greatest sense of joy. It really does.
I understand.
To see, that.
Yeah.
And I said, I did that.
Right.
I didn't have no affiliate. I didn't have no station.
Right.
I didn't even have a corporate sponsor.
Right.
I only had the mom and pops.
Yeah.
That's how I made it happen.
Yeah.
Rented the studios. So many funny stories. Remember the time I was interviewing, you don't turn the oven on unless you have a lot to cook, So I'd have all the guests come once Saturday out of a month, and we tape 4 or 5 shows back to back.
Right. Oh, that's grueling.
Well, it was under the hot lights.
Yeah. If you want, throw on the headphones. And
Okay.
then when we come back, we can chat and you'll be able to hear the music. And let me make sure you can hear. Can you hear? You're good?
Yes.
Okay.
All news.
Dayton's news
All talk.
and talk.
All the time. The WHIO News Traffic and Weather Center is active. If news breaks, we'll break in. This is the Miami Valley's radio station, WHIO.
Don't hesitate to call. You call me. You better call me. Damn it, get me a phone.
Call me on my radio.
I'm gonna call you. You got him on the radio?
You won't make a simple phone call?
What is wrong with you?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. In the studio with me, Dayton TV Icon, at least he is in my book, William Pace.
Good to be here.
Well, for people who are just joining us, just to reset, I grew up here and I remember seeing your shows on television, and thank you for sort of telling the story about how so many of your shows ended up on cable access. That makes sense now. You had actually been a commercial show.
Mm-hmm.
You were on Channel 2. They had you...
I was sandwiched on between the wrestlers would come on late at night.
Yeah.
And I'd come on after the wrestlers and then in concert.
Yeah.
And
a late night fixture.
suddenly at 1 a.m. in the morning, it was a hot time.
Yeah, sure.
And people stayed up and watched.
Yeah. So, so on this show, I mean, you did all kinds of things. You interviewed folks, you had a band, you sang, because as we've already covered, I mean, you are a professionally trained singer.
Yeah. Professionally trained operatic singer.
Right.
And so many things, to tell. At a very young age, I won a Robert Oldman scholarship to study abroad at the American Institute of Musical Studies.
Oh, wow.
I was the youngest ever at, I think, 20,
Wow.
And, won a Madame Augury scholarship to sing with the Aspen Festival Orchestra. All of these things happened in college, when I was in college.
Right.
So when I graduated, I was out on the road singing.
Yeah. And that's when people were saying, hey, you got a mug for TV.
Yes.
You need to be on TV.
Absolutely. That's what they said.
Yeah. So there's a lot of your shows. We referenced the article that was in the Dayton Daily back in February, over 3,000 tapes of your shows.
Oh.
Boy, that must be a pain to move around.
Well, what it really is, and perhaps if there's someone out there in listener land, it's very expensive. The situation, because so much of my career was on tape.
Right. Sure.
The majority of it. And so to preserve those tapes, and many of them in the early days, like at Channel 2, it was like a big encyclopedia reel that I took to the station.
Right.
And so what we're doing now is transferring all of those things from tape to MP4.
All right, to digital. Yeah.
Yes, right.
So you can put it on the internet, right?
Yeah, and these shows will live on forever.
Right. Well, I found this. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button here. I found this clip. This is on YouTube, and this is from one of your shows. Now, I don't have a date on here, so I don't know when this is. Maybe you can tell by.
I shall.
Okay, so here's just a little bit of William Pace on his show.
The Secret Love.
Yeah.
From the movie Calamity Jane.
And you've got the tux on. You got the sideburns working. You got the goat. I mean, you're looking sharp.
I like that look.
Yeah.
Too,
That's a good look. And the hair in this version of William Pace, the hair's not so out there, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the concerts that I do, sometimes I'll say, when I'm singing a song or something in between the songs, I'll say, folks, it isn't easy trying to be tall, dark, and handsome.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to keep trying, and that gets a big laugh out of the audience.
So beyond the music aspect of this, you would have a lot of folks, a lot of guests on. You would have celebrities. You'd have, yeah, that's right. I've seen that interview.
Let me tell
chatting with B.B. King.
Let me tell you about that interview. I had started working on that interview. First of all, that I had this was all done without a station or without an affiliate.
Right.
Or
You're
anything.
just a guy. You're just a guy reaching out.
Right.
Yeah.
I called up the road manager and said, when BB comes to town, I want to interview him. I have a local show. And they didn't know me at that time from A Man in the Moon,
Right. Yeah.
And I couldn't say, well, I was from this affiliate or that station or anything like that. So what happened is that day when they did come to town at Memorial Hall, the road manager called me.
Oh, wow.
And said, we'll give you 5 minutes. Was there pandemonium after that? We had to scramble to get the lights, to get the camera, and he was at Memorial Hall. And we only had 5 minutes to do the interview and between his first and second half. And when he walked off that first half and sat down in the chair, that was one of my best interviews.
Yeah.
Because it was like almost being a veteran veteran journalist.
Sure.
I had no time for any mistakes.
Yeah.
And only had one interview and got it done.
Well, and I would imagine that you grew up listening to him and knowing him and observing him, and to meet one of your, I don't know if he was an idol of yours, but he was certainly somebody that was well known, you're sort of having that meeting the celebrity, there's going to be anxiety, there's going to be nerves.
I didn't even have time to be nervous. I didn't even have time to be worried about the hair look that day.
Yeah.
I was so busy about trying to think, what am I going to say?
Right. What about some of the other people that you interviewed? Throw out some names.
Oh gosh, two for one. Mr. T, I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown trying to interview him.
You interviewed Mr. T.
Yes, it was. I pulled that off too. It was in Dark Star, a comic book store in Yellow Springs.
Oh yeah, I know Dark Star.
And so we were over there. It was that was another one of those 5-minute interviews, and it was right out in the middle of the store.
Sure,
people all around, people galore all the way around.
Right. Yeah.
And so I thought I would ask questions that people would want to know and things like that.
Yeah.
It was one of those interviews. I'd ask a question, he'd respond with some other answer. That went on for the whole.
Sounds like Mr. T.
That went on for the whole interview.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I thought I was just going to fall out because but it turned out we doctored up the interview. It looked really good.
Looked good. Yeah.
And Mr. Jimmy Walker. Who will forget that interview?
Wow.
I asked him at the end, I always give my guests in the early days, one of our sponsors were Esther Price Fine Chocolates.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I, at the end, give my guest a little token of Dayton.
Sure.
And he took the candy and he said, chocolates, white and dark and light chocolates. Does this mean white and black people can have candy? And he just made it into a comical.
Yeah.
I think it was probably great advertising for Esther Price Fine Chocolates,
So it's funny. I met Jimmy Walker back in the 90s. Most people won't remember this, but some may. He actually filled in for a week on WHIO radio.
Wow.
There was a host that was on 9 to noon. His name was Mark Williams. And he did sort of, I wouldn't call it, he did some political, but he talked a lot about what was going on in Dayton. And one week he was off on vacation, and I don't know that Jimmy came in for the whole week, but he came in and did a couple of days. And at that time, Jimmy was trying to sort of rekindle his career and thought he would give his attempt at being a conservative talk host. So Jimmy Walker, Kid Dynamite, was on the WHIO airwaves, talking politics, and I produced a show, and it was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So we've only got a couple of minutes left. But I want to ask you, so what is the status of the William Pace show now? What's happening with it?
This little show, the little train that could, has created a following. I didn't even know I had a following in Fort Worth, Texas.
Really?
They had me on at Christmas time singing Christmas carols. Christmas music.
For which station? Was this a TV station or radio or what?
Well, you mentioned our good friend, Dan McDowell.
Oh, yeah, Dan.
And he was on many, many times on the show. And so he arranged it. And I was on for a half an hour singing Christmas music.
Wow.
In Fort Worth. And so many people loved that show that he was on 3 or 4 or 5 shows.
Right.
Particularly that one show when they came on and he was Big Jim Wilson. Remember him?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
But he's been a favorite on the show over the years. Charlotte, North Carolina. I didn't know I had a following down there in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
Upstate New York, Detroit.
So what are you doing with the show now, though? I mean,
we're producing? We're working on the 38th season of the William Pay Show.
Okay.
Starting for the fall, all new shows. I've got a list of people all across the country who wants to.
You got to put me on.
Well,
I mean, I've had you on my show.
Consider it done.
All right.
Consider it done.
I love it. I love it.
And but I really want to. I don't know how much time we have, but I want to tell people in the early days of the show. When I started it, I just was trying to be a star, celebrity, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But then there was a lady that was following me in Cub's food store in Trotwood.
Yeah.
And she said, I saved her life. I said, ma'am, what are you talking about? And one night, this lady was going to commit suicide.
No.
And she went she didn't have a gun. She went in the kitchen and to get a butcher knife and she had a little TV set on the counter and she turned it on. And there I was on TV.
Wow.
And it was something I said, to this day, I don't know what it might have been.
Right.
Inspirational scripture, but it made her put the knife down. And in that moment, God said to me, this is not about you trying to be some celebrity.
Right.
This is about you empowering people, uplifting people, helping people to be all they can be through this show.
Well, William, I think you've done a great job throughout your career, and we'll give you a round of applause for that. There you go. There you go.
Bless you. Thank you so much.
But I really appreciate you being on the show.
Anytime.
I appreciate the opportunity to meet you. Like I said, I've been aware of you for a very long time, and I know I've talked about you on my show before, not just recently, but in years past, but I just never got to meet you. So I'm glad to finally make your acquaintance, and I hope we could be friends, and we'll get some pictures.
Consider it done.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you, William. Thanks for being on the show.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Holst.
I love this show.
It's fun to listen to.
Locally grown.
Here at Dayton.
Seriously funny.
He's a crackpot with wild ideas.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.